What's up, everybody? It's the Brownwater Banter podcast. I am Jared Seymour, and we are here today talking with LB Wilson from the Wayward Kraken. But we're not here to talk about the Wayward Kraken. We're here to talk about
the Biloxi Comedy Lab.
Awesome. A new venture that you're doing. The first down here that I'm aware of. Comedy club.
Yeah. Full disclosure, man, like I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I've only lived down here for like 5 years. The only comedy club that I know of in the history of this town was in one of the casinos a very long time ago.
I don't even remember that, and I've been here my whole life. What was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember the name of it, but when I said I was going to open a comedy club, some dude was like, "Oh yeah, there was one of those in the IP or the Bow or something."
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
maybe
a long time ago.
Yeah, it didn't resonate with the community because I can't remember it,
and it's fucking not still there.
Correct. So you obviously run the Wayward Kraken, a nerd bar is how you call it.
Yeah, it's a bar for nerds.
That's right. Y'all do all kind of cool shit. Y'all do board games, Dungeons and Dragons. What am I missing? Come on, because I know.
We do like tabletop war games, Dungeons and Dragons. We run a bunch of like nerdy trivia events. Anything that's nerd culture and nerd chic, we're really into. Like if we do premiere parties for the Doctor Who stuff.
That's right.
We like. I don't know. We're big fucking dorks, and we like big fucking dork stuff.
And you're proud of it.
Yeah, we're like super stoked about it.
And so y'all have already established yourself as that here in the community and found a group of people that didn't have a voice and didn't have an outlet and now have a place to go. And recently you started adding in open mic comedy nights.
Yeah, we so one of the things that I think that the Wayward Kraken does well is to sell stuff that we are that we genuinely love.
Right.
Like we genuinely love beer, right? And and Cannon Blue, my partner, genuinely loves food, and she's a masterful chef, and so we're both huge turbo dorks, so we're able to kind of sell the stuff that we like to people that like the stuff that we like.
That's right. That's right.
And so we started doing comedy about 8 months ago. Because I'm a huge fan of the form, man. I've loved stand-up comedy my whole life. It's the first thing that ever made me laugh.
Right.
Right? And so we started doing that, I think back in May or June, something like that.
Time flies.
Yeah. It was in the summer.
Right.
And the community started kind of hopping, and a bunch of turbo nerds are really into stand-up comedy. It's a kind of art form that
plays well together.
Yeah, I think so.
I was super pumped whenever I heard you were doing it, and when y'all started doing it. It's something that I felt like this, like you said, it's not really around here as far as a venue. People love to tell jokes and everyone loves to laugh, but you have to drive a good distance to be able to go to a club like that. I actually wanted to take a trip. I believe the Comedy Store is in LA. Is that correct?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's right. I was even looking at flights to go out there just to go to a real comedy club, because the only time that I've ever seen a comedy show was one time in Mobile. I think it was like a one-off kind of one night kind of thing. And then on a Carnival cruise, and I talked to you about this before. It's I can't think of his name right now, whose name was on the comedy club inside of the ship.
Yeah, that's the dude
Lopez.
Yeah, the dude that like he bills himself as like the dirtiest clean comic there is.
Yeah, something like
he's super funny.
Yeah, well, so his
I gotta look up your message now. And
no, I know that guy. I'm getting to him.
Oh.
The guy whose name was on the club. It doesn't matter. I go in there on the ship and they're like, comedy club in the ship, 2 comics a night, 2 sets. Both, every night you're there, and I'm like, I was so pumped. I go in there not knowing what to expect, a little bit nervous because, comedians will pick people out of a crowd and come up on stage or whatever. First comedian, funny, told killer jokes. We had a good time, laughed. Second comedian comes up, Mutzi is who
that's the cat I
thought I was talking about. Yeah. He gets up there and destroys the crowd. It was so what I was wanting and what I hoped, and it is amazing. And you're right, he's a clean comic. He won BET's BET's Comic of the Year for Comic View,
right? Like
in the late '90s or whatever.
Right.
White dude,
right?
Won it, and
he's like one of 2 dudes to do it. The other one's Gary Owen.
Yeah, exactly. And so he gets up there and he doesn't have like a set he has a couple bits. I take that back. He does, but the majority of his set is a flashlight. and he takes the damn flashlight and like shines it on people. And again, you get nervous. You're like, oh shit, he's gonna roast. But he did it in a very nice, funny, like let you kind of give the dirt and then laughed about it. It wasn't like really hurting people's feelings. It was amazing. I had a great time. So when I heard you were doing it down here, I'm like, man, awesome. Because we drove to see him somewhere over in Slidell area at a bar that was a one-off kind of thing. It wasn't a comedy club, and had a great time. So the fact that Biloxi can get something like that possibly rolling full time, I think you said you'd be what, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, we want to be open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to do Thursday night as an open mic. It's completely free entry. It'll be a 1 drink minimum. And that's a proper open mic. Well, anybody wants to get on the list, gets on the list, gets up on stage, does their time. Then Friday and Saturday will be booked shows, and depending on who's coming in or what's coming in, we shout out to Compton Smith, and to Michael Hall and a bunch of these dudes around here that are part of like just troops of super funny dudes in New Orleans and Hattiesburg and Mobile and Pensacola. We'll be booking a bunch of them cats because they're super funny. We're thinking like $10 at the door and a 2 drink minimum. It's kind of standard
comedy club
stuff.
Yeah.
You're only gonna be in there for like an hour and a half.
Right.
So like we'll do those, and then we've been lucky enough to talk to some other cats out in LA and some cats in New York to bring in some other kind of bigger talent. Ticket prices will go up based on those contracts, but with the Kickstarter right now, we're giving away tickets.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up. You're trying to raise some money to get some of the big ticket items. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So like when you launch a thing like this, right, you do a big economic analysis, break-even analysis and projections, and you kind of figure out what it is you need in terms of cash flow to keep the thing afloat.
Yeah. Smart business practice.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of math, and it's a whole bunch of like boring shit. But that number can be tremendously huge. And so that figure we're going to outside investors to cover.
Okay.
But one of the things that helps us get those outside investors is to have the one-time expenses that aren't going to generate capital covered. So stuff like your beer cooler, the bar, like the physical bar itself, the tap system, the ice machine. Right. These are $2,000 and $3,000 expenses, and when you add them all up together, right, they're pretty tremendous. And you're basically asking investors to pay for those, and they don't want to. Right. So we decided to kickstart our budget for those things to get them off the financial analysis, so that our investors are basically just putting their money into a money-making machine.
There you go. I mean, and it's got to make money to stay afloat. It is a business, right? People that are listening. And if you're out there and you hear this and you want something like this in your town, which Biloxi is what we're talking about, you've already put the address out, right? Where it's supposedly be?
Yeah, it's going to be. No, it's not a spoiler. Yeah. Right now, we are tentative to GE Orr Avenue, which is like a block away from here.
That's right. In the Vieux Marché. It used to be a Subway. I think that's all considered all one building, correct? I know you're in the front on the Vieux Marché side.
Well, actually, it's 2 buildings. So where the old Subway was on Georgia Orr, is now going to be, shout out to Kate, the new Greenhouse on Porter. Okay. Greenhouse on Porter from Ocean Springs is getting a second location over here. Breakfast and biscuits. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Go do that.
I've had their biscuits. They're legit.
Bro, they're banging. Dude, they're so good.
That's right.
And then we will share a wall with them on the George Orr side. And then there's another like white tablecloth restaurant going in that building too.
Okay.
So like we're going to be on the Brickface side.
Gotcha.
But we're not where the Subway was. We're immediately next door to the left.
Gotcha. So if you're listening to this and you want to be, help this get rolling, they can go to Kickstarter.com.
Yeah, Kickstarter.com /project/Comedy Lab, or just go to Kickstarter and search Comedy Lab. We're the only comedy lab there.
Awesome.
I think it's in there as Biloxi Comedy Lab, but we're the only one.
Right. You have different tiers, just like any other Kickstarter campaign. I went and looked at it myself. It ranges from free tickets to get in. Do I remember
Yeah, that's right.
to all? Can you help me out?
Yeah, so like I think at $20 you get 5 free tickets.
Okay.
That just ducks the door fee for whatever show we book forever. So that day that comes where we book Louis C.K.,
Right.
that ticket's free.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's lifetime.
Nice. Okay. So you get your money back right out the gate for that.
Well, I mean, it's 5 tickets.
Right.
You know, like
Use them how you want.
Use them how you
That's
want. We're printing out these cool like poker chip style tickets. So everybody that goes to the Kickstarter that funds a Kickstarter and gets free tickets will get a like little green poker chip,
Yeah.
and that gets you in the door for any show ever.
Sweet.
And then for the higher tier backers, we also are giving away VIP passes, which again are lifetime. So those VIP passes will get you into the green room, and you'll hang out in the green room. Kickstarter was very, very specific that we could not tell you that we are going to give you free drinks
Okay.
when that happens.
All right.
But this ain't fucking Kickstarter.
Right.
Right.
We can say what the hell we want.
Yeah, so like our green room is going to be a comped.
Gotcha.
Comp situation.
Is that how you listed it on Kickstarter though? As like access to the green room or
Access
something
to
like
the yeah, we had to change it because like when we put the
Right.
Kickstarter up, they kicked it back to us. So like you can't tell people you're giving away free drinks.
All right, we can work
So,
around that.
Yeah, so we worked around
We
it.
figured that out.
Yeah, so you'll get into the green room, and the green room is just a VIP experience. It's you will be you're treated like the guest,
Right.
and you'll hang out with them, and
The artists themselves.
yeah, and you'll be backstage with them. And so we're giving those away at the kind of upper echelon
Right.
backers.
You already have a Facebook page for it.
We do.
So, and that's just type in the
Biloxi,
comedy.
Biloxi Comedy Lab.
All right, you can already go there, give it a like, start supporting, start sharing, start talking about it. Because one thing I've learned is if you've never been in a business or started up a podcast or anything like that, man, the value in you sharing something on your Facebook page or your Instagram page or whatever that you want to support is huge, man.
Yeah,
awareness for people, whether it's the Wayward Kraken now, it's been in business for how many years have y'all been in business over there?
3
years.
We're
still
wrapping
helps.
up year 3.
Yeah, it still helps to kick over and share their events or their
please
whatever.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so especially with something like this that's trying to get legs up underneath it and get off the ground, go over there, check it out, and shout it out to the people, and let's see if we can make this happen.
yeah, I'm really excited about it, man. One of the things that we were very successful with doing the way we're cracking is that we tried to bring out a piece of nightlife where you got to do something. Right? And that was the whole sales pitch for this comedy lab for the last month, is that there's just not enough stuff to do.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like in Biloxi.
Right.
Right? You can go and sit and drink. You can do that.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of
ample
spots.
places to do that.
And there's a bunch of great ones.
Yeah.
Right? And like I'm not taking a shit on any of those.
That's right.
But there's that market is full. You know, like people talk about how risky opening a bar is. You know, opening a bar, like it's because the market's so saturated.
Right.
So this is a venture where like you get to do something.
That's it.
You know, and we're excited about that part.
And like we said, you've already started doing this to kind of test the market and test the feedback from people. You're already doing it at the Wayward Kraken. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, how has that been? You do it's Monday nights, if I remember right. And anybody that wants to come can sign the list.
Yep.
You can do as little, or I think you do like
Up
a
to
5
5.
minute. Yeah, okay, 5 minute cutoff.
You get the light at
which
5.
is about 6 eternities if you're standing up there with a microphone trying to make people laugh.
Yeah,
5
dude.
minutes.
Like there's so I've gone up almost every Monday that we've done it. I love stand up, and I've always kind of wanted to try that.
Yeah. Bucket list.
Yeah, I suck, but it's so much fun to do. The open mic comedy that we do at the Wayward Kraken has demonstrated, at least to me, that there's a really solid talent pool. I already knew there was an audience,
Right.
because the IP will put 3,000 people in seats 8 times a year,
Right.
and so will the Bow, right? And the Coliseum will do it once or twice a year,
Right.
and the Hard Rock will do it once or twice a year. So at least once a month, there's 1,000 people going on purpose, and there's 3,000 people getting comp tickets and still going
Right.
to comedy. So I know the market's there. But one of the things that I think the Ware Kraken's open mic has shown is that the talent locally is also there to create an actual comedy community, which is what you got to have for a comedy club.
Right.
Like you got to have 5 or 6 comics standing out front, smoking cigarettes, bullshitting constantly.
It's people that's watching this may not realize, but this is actually where the sound is recorded too. I know you can't tell because all the
fuck out of here.
Yeah, we did a lot of different decoration changes here. Yeah, it's real. I know your mind's blown, but it's the same thing we deal with on that show as well. Trying to promote the local music scene. It's the same thing. That you need an outlet, you need a venue, you need a community, or it's hard to get the attention that you need if you're a band, or the same thing, and if you're a comic. And like you said, I gotta believe that all the people that's been coming out since you've started this in May, June of this year, they probably had that bug, that was there before you started that and was just looking for a place to go.
Yeah, man. We've got a handful. I mean, J Bob is one of the funniest dudes around here, man. And that cat, it was just sitting on stand up. He was just sitting on stand up comedy. He just had a stack of jokes ready made to do it.
But it's like, where am I going to go?
I'm going to drive all the way to New Orleans to do an open mic. I got to work in the morning.
That's right. Yeah. I can't do, all the bullshit that you tell yourself before you try something.
Right. And, man, and we've run across 6 or 8 J-Bobs. And that's enough.
Right.
Like, that's more than enough to keep a comedy community afloat, especially because they're all dudes like J-Bob and Wally, right, that are super supportive and really kind and nice dudes, and they're here about comedy, and they're here about making jokes and doing this art, right? It would be like trying to be a drummer,
right,
then going to a drumming competition, sucking,
right,
and having every drummer help you.
That's right.
Right, afterwards.
Yeah.
And that I've never seen a community like that.
That's awesome. It's like you said, you went up there and you I sucked, right? But I went to, I think, just the one. I didn't get up there and do anything, but
you should've.
I know, and it's a bucket list item, and I'm on my own ass to do it. But I've just got, I got,
of course,
other things going on.
Got a life.
But it's the vibe that was in there was very much demo your shit. Get up here.
Man, get up here and work out.
And if your win of the night is to just get up there, it's a cool environment to do that. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
you're not going to get up. You don't have to get up there and be Richard Pryor for 5 minutes
off the bat.
Yeah, or even probably 2 years in.
Year,
if I had to guess,
exactly, dude. Like, and man, if you are
more, kudos to you. Yeah.
Please come up if you're that guy.
Yeah, please come up and let me know.
Monday at 7.
That's right.
Come on up, man, and do your thing, because I'll help you get where you need to.
You'll make some folks. Maybe you might even manage them.
Dude, I'll get you to L.A. That's fine, man. I can't wait to clip my hook to you.
That's right. That's right. Ride them coattails.
Yeah,
all
bro.
I
got no shame
I remember
in it.
when I found him.
Yeah, I found that fucking guy.
But the environment is there. You know what I'm saying? And I witnessed that firsthand from people who just had a couple ha-has, to somebody who maybe didn't get many laughs at all, to a couple like, damn, now that was really funny, and we're all laughing. And I ended up leaving, but you're telling me that after each one of those open mic nights, or your Monday nights, really, is y'all sit around and kind of work shit out together, work routines and bits out together.
Right. So, like, I'll give you an example. There's a young dude. His name's BJ DeBlow. He gets up.
Nice.
That's not his real name. But
who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Right. But he gets up. He started about 3 months ago. And got up.
Is he the young kid?
No, that we'll talk about that kid.
Okay.
Dude, there's no way I'm not going to talk about that kid.
All right, yeah.
BJ DeBlow gets up and has what I think J-Bob could see, Wally could see, Jacob Craig could see, Krangus could see, anybody that had been on that stage and faced the other way could see, were the seeds of absolutely stellar jokes, right? Like, he has a bit where he talks about how his dick is very much like you're like radium 216. Or like the radiation value of radium to, or some
sciencey shit,
some radioactive isotope.
Right.
My dick is like the radiation from this radioactive isotope. It's so small that it doesn't really matter. Right.
That's good.
It's a solid joke. That's
a solid joke.
Right.
Especially in a nerd bar, right?
Right.
With some
and so
sciencey nerdy type.
So they bring them down and we're sitting around fucking around and we all kind of chuckled at that joke. Like that joke wasn't ready yet.
Right.
And Jason Zapata and somebody else was like, dude, the answer to that joke is not that it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It's that it can't hurt you.
It's there, but it can't really hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my dick is like this radiation. It's so small, it cannot hurt you.
Right.
And he turned that joke and he twisted it just a little bit on the recommendation of some people in the crowd. Mm-hmm. You know, some comics that were in there watching and listening that just offered that to him for free. And now that joke's fucking stellar and it really smashes.
Two things come to mind there. One is I've heard big comedians that are, big, huge names talk about trim and fat, timing of a joke. It starts out clunky. Then it gets better, and then you just eventually mold. Some just come out the gate and they're funny and they work, and that's just how life is. But some of them you got to kind of mold.
Right.
And then also too, I've heard bigger comics talk about how they do that same thing, like in your comedy clubs in your big towns or whatever. It's just like a local music scene, right?
Yeah.
You know each other.
Right.
You've heard.
Yeah, I've heard this song so many times, Jared.
Right. Exactly. But maybe a little different than music in that you help people with their material and you work on bits. Like, hey, did you think about?
Do they do that in the music community? You were in a band for a long time.
Not so much like at a show. You're not going to be like after the song, like, hey, if you got rid of that verse, it
I
might
suppose
be better.
That's true.
But maybe at a practice or a hangout or while you're writing stuff, if somebody was another musician from a different band was there, it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, do musicians often do that? Do they? Hey, man, I'm working on this song. Let me play you a couple bars of it and tell me what you think.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
But I think whenever it's that beginning writing process to start out with, it's usually just the guys that are in that band. That's just speaking from one person's experience.
Sure. Yeah, I was curious.
I'm sure it's 1,000 different ways that everybody can does.
Like the music and comedy comparison happens all the time, and I don't know shit about the music world, dude. Yeah. So like it. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
to know.
Yeah. It's a little different in that way, but I think that's one of the coolest things I've heard you talk about when it comes to all of this is that everybody's there helping each other out and tweaking stuff and making it cool because it takes a lot of cojones to get up on a stage and do anything, much less try to make people laugh, dude. That's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, but it's so fucking dope when you do.
Once you hit it, though,
once you so dope,
it feels
so good.
I'm sure it's just another version like of a drug, right? But a good life drug,
dude,
not
it's so
an actual drug.
It's so good.
So what? Let's talk about the young cat. You got to mention him.
Right, yeah,
and I forget his name.
No, his name is Jacob Craig.
Okay.
Jacob Craig's the funniest dude on the coast.
Okay. Damn.
I put a flag in it.
All right.
I'll call it right now.
He's the dude.
He's 19 years old.
Yes.
His act is so polished. Like
you could get that. I got that vibe from it.
Like the dude's not up there just telling you a story about Wednesday and trying to make it funny. He's not the dude that you hang out with that's so funny and he should definitely do stand-up comedy. He's not that dude.
Okay.
He's a guy that has an eye for how comedy needs to be crafted, and he delivers jokes as though they're jokes. He knows where to weave in and out of crowd work. He's magnificently good. And his jokes are just absolutely stellar, dude. Like, he's really fucking funny.
Was he doing comedy anywhere else besides? Did he start at the Kraken on open mic?
No.
Okay.
In fact, it's crazy. I don't know this dude's whole life story now.
Right.
I don't want to speak too much for that. But what I will say is, I guess Zeppelin's, where the Mermaid Bar used to be, or is now, but used to be Zeppelin's. 3 or 4 years ago, I think they did a comedy open mic that Wally Phelps hosted.
Right.
And Wally's our host, and he's fucking fantastic. Award-winning comedy writer Wally Phelps.
Yep, him and Jason wrote.
Please always refer to him as award-winning comedy writer Wally Phelps.
He earned it, damn it.
We only refer to him as award-winning comedy writer Wally Phelps.
I'm already in it.
Yeah, see there. But I guess Wally hosted Jacob Craig's first show when this kid was fucking 15.
Really?
Yeah, he was like 15.
Yeah.
And wasn't allowed to be in Zeppelins.
But
did an open mic, did an open mic there, and I think that was his first show. So this kid's got 3 or 4 or 5 years under his belt
doing
open mics, trying his best, man. And like, there's just not a bunch of outlets here. So when he came in the first Monday we ever did an open mic, he beat the fucking pieces. He beat that room to shreds, dude, because he was far and away like above and beyond what everybody else had.
Did you get an introduction to him, or did he just walk up there?
He just walked in.
No,
I had no idea who he was.
Gotcha. What did you do? You were like,
Oh, dude, I was like, dude, everybody in this room needs to do whatever this kid's doing. Like, this kid's clearly a comedian.
Yeah.
Like he's
got it.
Yeah, he's surpassed the amateur, like, just, I'm here to try to talk about my dick for 2 minutes.
Right.
Like, there's a bunch of those, and they're fun, and most of them are funny.
Yeah.
But Jacob can be funny every time. He can tell that same joke to you every time. You'll laugh every time because it's a masterfully crafted joke. I can't tell you the same story about that time I got my dick stuck in the dryer. I can tell you once, and it'll get a laugh out of you. But if I come back to you tomorrow afternoon and go, did I ever tell you about how I got my dick stuck in the dryer?
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Jacob will make you laugh every time because his jokes are timed and they're crafted and
they move that way.
Yeah, and they're made right.
What we mentioned the Facebook page, and you have some 3D kind of concept designs of what you're wanting the place to look at. So if people want to get an idea of what we're talking about, what your vision is before it happens, they can go there and take a look at that.
Yeah, we did some 3D renderings of the place, just kind of based on the regular square footage.
Right.
We got a whole bunch of build out to do. We got a whole bunch of work to do in front of us. But that none of that shit's to scale.
Right. But it's a concept.
Yeah,
give you an idea.
Yeah, it's a concept sketch. That's the cover photo of the Comedy Lab page right now.
And I don't think we mentioned. You did mention Cannon Blue is your partner at the Way We're Cracking, and she loves to cook. Y'all have amazing food at the Kraken. I can personally speak to that.
Thanks.
You're going to be serving that same food at the Comedy Lab, so
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna satellite out the kitchen because we're so close, man.
Yeah.
We're like 1,000 yards away.
Right.
Not even.
It's close.
It's real close.
It's super close.
It's fucking. It's a 3-minute walk.
Right.
It's a no-minute drive.
Right.
So we'll have a kind of truncated food menu, stuff that we know will travel well.
Right.
And then so we'll have that at the Comedy Lab. So you have beer, you have booze, you have food, you have comedy.
I don't know what the hell else more you could want. Honestly. There's only a couple things, and I don't think that's legal, either one of them.
There will be plenty of shit that's illegal. I'm sure. I'm sure we'll be able to handle all that.
Dude, what have we not said? I mean, I think we like I said, you got to go to the Kickstarter. You got to go to Kickstarter.com, type in Comedy Lab. Let's get this shit rolling. It's something that that I think that we need. I think that people are gonna dig it.
I think like this is. There's no way to say this without sounding shitty.
Go ahead.
I guess you just blame me for this later.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff that we've done with the Kraken over the last couple of years has been city aimed. We've been lucky to have a bunch of allies in that regard. Dixie Newman, Corey Christie. Like, we want to do stuff that obviously enriches us.
Yeah.
But that the city can enjoy and actually be proud of.
That's right.
Right? As opposed to just, give me your money and get the fuck out. And I think a comedy club in this town, because of where it's geographically placed, right, perfectly between New Orleans and Atlanta, right? Every comedian in the world that does a Southern tour takes I-10 right past Biloxi, dude. They all drive through here, dude. Louis C.K. drives through here 6 times a year.
Right.
He drives right past you.
Yeah.
Right, and doesn't stop.
Yeah. That's a problem. You know what I mean? Like you said, they want to make money. So
Hannibal Buress drives past here 6 times a year and doesn't stop.
They want to make money, so they're definitely going to be willing to stop. And coming from the guy who has the podcast dedicated to Biloxi, You know, and you mentioned Dixie Newman and the Biloxi City Council, Corey. The whole we're sitting right now, and your bar is right by in the View Marché.
Yeah. This
So
is the place that we're building right
That's-
now to do this.
they're trying right now to do the revitalization of downtown Biloxi, and they got a lot of challenges ahead of themselves to face. But one of the things is attractions that I'm not going to say instead of the casino, but are around the casino and are different than the casinos, right?
Yeah.
People that come here and visit and gamble, they do that and they see the shows, but the city wants, I feel like, from what I've heard, read, and seen, have more attractions for people to do. Even some family-oriented stuff with Margaritaville doing their build-out and trying to get the amusement park going on out there on the outside on that lot there. To me, this is just another amenity for people that are live here and then also
That are gonna
travel
come
here.
here.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think, and this was part of our pitch to the city as well. Like, one of the things that I think that the Comedy Lab's going to bring here that maybe some outside folks aren't bringing is something we don't already have. Like, a great deal of this View Marché development is going to be another rib joint, another Chili's, another thing that we already have,
right?
A bigger, better, badder, fucking cooler, shinier, newer, doper version of a thing we already got. So I'm not like shitting on it, telling them to stop.
That's right.
Right? But it's going to be a thing that we already have. Whereas a comedy club, an amusement park,
right?
These are things we don't currently have.
That's right.
And I think that's where the attention might better be focused.
Yeah, I
mean,
agree with
obviously, my self-preservation
You
notwithstanding.
might be slightly biased, but,
Yeah,
but I
clearly.
still think it rings true. I know another thing they mentioned, they talk about a lot, and I would agree with, is foot traffic down here. And I think they're working on more townhouses and some of the development in here potentially.
Man, I can't wait for this axe throwing bar across the street down.
Yeah,
down here.
I'm in meaning to reach out to those guys. And
Dude,
get
they're
them in here.
dope, man.
Yeah. Have you spoke to them? Do you know?
I know them well.
Okay.
Danny McNatt is one of our regulars.
Okay.
And he's actually opening in the original location for the Way We're Cracking.
Oh, that was that. So I didn't know that was.
Yeah, we were gonna.
I
open
know that
it.
story. I didn't know it was that spot.
Yeah, we're gonna open in 808 Howard. So when he was gonna open, down the road a bit, and there was a contractor problem,
right?
And they just
shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens, and they moved down to 808 Howard, which is now part of the district. That's this huge Biloxi initiative,
which we're in.
Yay!
I don't know if we're actually a part of the gang, but we're right next to them.
Yeah. You're on the wrong side of the street. I know, right?
My story of my life. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody across the street's getting a whole bunch of dope shit.
But I live on this side.
Watch it, though. You can see it really well, all the cool shit they're going to get across the street.
We'll just look out the window.
Just look out and just be...
Anyway. But they're trying to get some people living down here.
Yeah,
so
and so like all traffic. Those... Yeah, all the like upstairs of the Barks building is supposed to be like...
townhomes, I think, is kind of what they were referring to.
Looks rad.
Yeah,
looks really cool.
Yeah, there's not that here.
Yeah,
not here, like not at this particular spot. There's a ton on the beach and on 90, but not right here.
Yeah, but then when you drive 40 minutes to the east and you go to Mobile and you go down Dolphin Street, right. Dolphin Street's a fucking jumping spot, man.
It is.
And Mobile's a bigger town than Biloxi is, but not that much bigger. And
I used to know the numbers. I Googled it a little while back.
I mean, it's sizable.
Yeah.
Like, Mobile's the second or third largest port in the country. It's a big town.
Yeah.
But downtown Mobile fucking ain't.
Yeah.
I grew up in Mobile. Mobile is like 4 towns loosely hanging out
together,
calling themselves a town.
Let's join forces. We'll call each other one thing.
We're all Mobile guys. Yeah. Just be cool and keep walking straight.
Right.
The downtown Mobile area has Dolphin Street, and it's 8-9 bars, no different than downtown Biloxi, no different than Howard Avenue.
Right. Why can't we hear?
With living quarters upstairs, right? A bunch of cool apartments upstairs, little balconies and stuff, and it's jumping 7 days a week, man. Yeah. It's hopping and fun, man. It's so much fun to walk down Dolphin Street. Obviously, Bourbon Street's the greatest street on planet Earth.
It's pretty cool.
In terms of
not the cleanest.
Certainly not.
Certainly not the cleanest.
Yeah, certainly not the cleanest. But got to be on the Rushmore of the most fun streets ever.
Hashtag Rushmore, guys.
Hashtag Rushmore.
Have y'all
podcast.
done that episode yet? Y'all
Yeah.
need to.
Funnest streets.
Yeah, there you go. They probably haven't.
Yeah.
We'll kick that over to them. Free of charge.
You tag them. You're welcome, fuck faces.
Dude, I'm glad you stopped by tonight. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you had me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Before we end this one, I want to give a little shout out to Anthony Patalo for the people watching.
shit,
if you're
dude.
listening, you can't really see it. Jump on the Facebook page. You can see it.
incredible.
Man, he made this damn pelican on a pile in here with some spray paint cans, and it's kick ass, man. I really like the way it turned out. He made that. I'm super pumped.
I wish he hadn't attached a picture of Chris Cornell to the upper right, upper left side.
Yeah,
of it.
that's a bit awkward.
It's a weird artistic choice.
Artist though. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna fucking do?
Question
You're
him.
like, all right, okay, cool.
But
I mean,
other
I
than
like
that,
Chris.
I think yeah, that's what I said. I mean, maybe that's where he was going. Everybody loves Chris Cornell. So, but anyway, LB man, keep doing what you're doing at the way
Thank
we're
you, man.
cracking.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on 3 years there,
Thanks.
and I'm ready and willing to see you knock it out of the park with the Comedy Lab. I hope to get up there and bomb on your stage.
Oh, dude, do
at
it.
some point.
Bro, come do it.
Will do. And
Come out Saturday, man. We're doing a roast battle. We got a bunch of Gulf Coast comedians coming to be mean to each other.
awesome.
It's gonna be fucking super fun.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be super funny.
Real quick, again, Comedy Lab, Biloxi on Facebook, Kickstarter.com. Go there, Comedy Lab there, and read through the tiers. You can give as little or as much as you want, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. I know I've already witnessed a little bit of it, and I think it's dope as hell. So,
Thank you, man.
yeah. So, thanks everybody for listening, and until the next one, thank you so much.